Tanya. You know it. Good morning, Upside Downers. It is a... I just love saying it. What the hell did Peter Murphy do to us when he told us about an upside-down pineapple? That means, hey, swingers inside. I still don't get it. But I do like calling you upside downers. It's, Nicki Minaj has her, everyone's got the army, right? The Swifties, the whatever. Nobody has the upside downers. It is Wednesday. It is hump day. I'm on a red eye tonight. I'm heading to the absolute capital of Waspland, Nantucket. Nantucket. And there once was a man from Nantucket, but believe me, I'm not that guy. Sadly. But we will be going to Nantucket for 3 days and banging around a little bit and seeing what's going on. And then back up to Maine. So be on the move. Wondering if I could do this from the airport because I'm on the red eye tomorrow morning, but we'll figure that out. Good morning, everybody. How are you? There's Bridget. You know what? How are you? Oh, I clicked it. Steve and I just had a conversation. He said, Bill, let me take the chat so you can talk and communicate and I'll pop up the comments and so we can interact. And I just can't help it. I like, does anyone have the control freak problem where you just keep lunging? I'll do it. You have to let people do things. All right. If you try to micromanage and control everything, it's not going to work. You have great people. That's a great man right there, Steve. And one of these days he is going to give us a drum solo. And that is going to be exciting, but we're not going to get into that right away. We have to build to that. Okay.
Yeah. Today we're going to work the chat.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, good morning, Bridget Bauer. Billy, love you. I love you too. There's Sherry, the goats. What's going on? Good morning, Sherry Morris. I hope you're having a fucking splendid day. Billy and Steve. There's Jay Brad and Steve. Look at Steve. Steve's so handsome. He's a martial arts guy. Steve's very good at martial arts. Love Nantucket. Yeah. How did that thing go? There once was a man from Nantucket. Oh, okay. No, my dad used to have one too. There once was a man from Boston who drove a little Austin. There was room for his ass and a gallon of gas, but his balls hung out, so he lost him. Does anyone ever hear that one before? Good day from England, legally minded friends. Karen Cole. Darling, good morning. No, not for you. Sort of late afternoon. Time for a bit of tea, maybe. Jackson's Nickel. I'm a vineyard girl. Oh, well, that's like I grew up in New York City. So, it's like West Side, East Side. Central Park is almost like the Berlin Wall in New York. I had this conversation. Don't name drop, Bill. People don't like name dropping. Okay, fine. But you know what? A guy named Jerry, whose last name happens to be Seinfeld. And we were talking about how I was an Upper East Side guy and he was an Upper West Side guy. And that just means I never see you. I don't care about your restaurants. I don't know what goes on over there, but it's a very different experience than me. The one I have. Central Texas, 58 years old and started drum lessons 7 months ago. All right. Well, this is what's going to happen. Jay Rivet. We're going to we're going to stay up on this. When Steve does his, you get to yours. We're going to send you a link and we're going to pop you up in the chat and you're going to do a drum solo. You tell us when you feel confident. And by the way, nobody cares if you absolutely suck. That's fine. But imagine, along the way, in 5 years from now, we'll be sitting here and you'll be kicking ass drumming for some cover band outside of Boston. Tennessee represented in the house. Go Vols. What is that great country song that's I wear Tennessee orange for him? I love that. I'll wear Tennessee orange for him. It is so sexy, romantic. I love that. A lovely, hot, and humid morning from Iowa. Oh, I love it when we go whip around the country and the globe. Hot and humid in Iowa. I'll tell you what, it's been normally in Los Angeles, it's like 106 degrees. You have days like that. And right now, we've had nothing but 70s and sunny. It's crazy. Cherokee Gun in Murphy, North Carolina has a great drum set in his establishment. Okay, Lisa. You were there in, are you a North Carolina girl? Hot and humid in Chicago, I bet. Oh, the buns sticking together. The buns hot and humid in Minnesota. I'm so sorry, folks. That's terrible. My God, JT
So
is.
the humid thing, you're going back to Maine. I'm from Massachusetts. I really always think about what we don't have out here in LA, and that is the sticky shirt anymore. The shorts gets a little hot in the afternoons. I will say that the humid
Yeah.
thing we do not deal with.
Where I am in Maine, and you were just there with me, is I live 12 miles off the coast of mid Maine. So about 3 miles out, you're in the boat and you're blasting across the Penobscot Bay, and then all of a sudden it's like humid. You feel it just lifts, and then it just gets nice and cool and fresh and clear, and that's why I go. That's why I go, and I can't stop going.
Amen.
Couple of news items here. You saw that Ozzy Osbourne died. I have so many memories of Ozzy. God, he was so much fun. God, he was great. I remember I did the first big interview with him when I was sort of young and new at Access Hollywood, and the Osbournes came on to reality TV. So now I was like, oh my God, this guy I grew up with rocking is now a reality television dad. So I go to their house in Beverly Hills, and we have, high English tea, and the chaos ensues, and we do a great shoot. Later, I had one of the funniest moments with Ozzy Osbourne because he was sort of out of it, This was Sharon. And, I went and I said, okay, I had this stupid idea. I thought it would play well. And the idea was I'm going to do an interview with Ozzy head to head. People say tonight on ABC 2020, one-on-one with so-and-so. Ooh, one-on-one. So I said, I'm going to go head to head, but I'm actually going to do that. So I got there and I said, Ozzy, we're in his recording studio in the backyard. I said, Ozzy, I'm going to interview you head to head, okay? And he goes, okay, whatever. So I take my forehead, and I lean in. I grab him by the side of his head, and I put my forehead right up against his. And our mouths are like this close now. I can lean up the head down, and I go, all right, Ozzy, how old were you when you? And he goes, oh my God, what is happening? Oh my God, I can't do this. I need a breath pill. I said, what? I need a breath pill. I think he has so many pills that he takes, like instead of a breath mint, it was a breath pill. And I'll never forget that. I just laughed my ass off with this guy. It was incredible. Another great impression. Cal, you are keeping track of my impressions. I'm no Ariana Grande, but I can whip out a few. Breath pill. Oh, Ozzy, God, what an interesting guy. Anyway, I'm watching something. Back to the Beginning show on July 5th was such a power move. What's that? Steve, explain that to me. Back to the Beginning show on July 5th. Was that the first day I did this?
Ozzy just went back and did a huge show with Black
Sabbath.
Sabbath.
Sorry, of course. He did it with Black Sabbath.
Yes, exactly. And all the musicians came out. They wanted to be part of it. All the hard rock, heavy metal. It was actually kind of awesome.
Coldplay last night doing their show in Nashville. Noticeably, the Kiss Me cam was that's everybody was. People weren't even hugging their wives in there. Girlfriends like, keep your hands off me. I just don't want to be on this damn thing. That was a big move. It was 3 weeks ago too. So he was up there singing 3 weeks ago, and maybe that was it. Maybe after that he was like, I've done it. I've said goodbye to everybody, and he checked out. Watching something on Netflix. I just started watching. Amy Bradley is Missing. It's like number 2 on Netflix right now, right behind Untamed, the Eric Bana show. Anyway, it's another one of these amazing mysteries, multi-parts. It goes back. It started in this woman, this young girl, Amy Bradley, was living in Virginia, and her parents, insurance agents, and they won a contest within the company, and they got to go on a cruise as a bonus from management, and so they got to take their kids, Brad and Amy, and they went to on this cruise, and it was like Aruba, Curacao, these ports, St. Martin, and a week long. And just one night they're out, they go to a formal event in tuxedo and the whole thing, and they're all dressed up and cute, little family, mom, dad, son, daughter, like adorable. And the parents go to bed, and Bradley's 21 and Amy's 22, and they get to go up and go to the after party. There's a DJ, they're dancing, and Amy goes up on the, up by the DJ booth, and brother's down below, and he's hanging on the deck. And finally he's like, Amy, I'm tired. I got to go to bed. He goes to bed. Now, 5 minutes later, she comes into the room, and they're all sleeping in the same room. Mom, dad, Amy, and Bradley, the two kids, they're all sharing one room. They're kind of crammed in there. And they're just talking. Parents, I guess, are heavy sleepers. So Amy and Bradley are talking, brother and sister. What a great night. They're finishing their cocktails because, you can hold booze like that at 3:30 in the morning and not vomit the next day. And he's like, Aim, I'm going to bed. And she goes out on the little sliding balcony and, sits down. At 5:30 in the morning, the father wakes up and he's like, oh, there's Bradley. And he sees Amy's feet, her ankles and legs are in the chair, in the chaise outside on the little balcony of their boat. He sees her feet. So he's like, okay, this is good. She's here. Well, he falls back asleep. 20 minutes later, she's not there. This is 5:30 in the morning. At 5:50, 5:55, whatever, she's not there. And the yellow polo shirt she was wearing is on the floor in the room, and the sliding glass door is cracked open. So she seems to have come in, taken off her shirt, and maybe slipped out into the hallway. They never saw her again. Gone. In that 20-minute period, went out. They don't know if she was abducted by somebody. There was a guy in the band flirting with her the night before. Did she jump off the side? It's not a low railing. I mean, the FBI agent in there said, look, I'm 6 feet tall, and it comes up to my chest right here in the middle. So she would have to climb up that thing to get over it. Anyway, I've just started this thing. Oh, that lady was in the bar earlier. I think she was drugged and trafficked. Okay, everyone's got theories on, but this is really good. So we're looking for something to watch together. Hop on Amy Bradley's Missing. And I have only seen half of the first episode, enough to set up for you what is the concept. But shit, I mean, the only bummer is that we're not going to find Amy Bradley at the end of this thing, and I really want to. But it's riveting. I can't wait to finish it. So Amy Bradley's Missing on Netflix. We're going to take this thing from number 2 to number 1. Josh Doan Malat. Josh! Oh, Josh works with us. Didn't you and Ozzy have beef? Josh is in the Slack right now. Josh is amazing. All the social media stuff we do, all the Instagram Hot Mics posts, Josh does all of that. He's terrific, and he used to work at Barstool Sports, and we're very lucky to have him. He's so good. Anyway, yes, Ozzy and I did have some beef. If you Google Billy Bush, Ozzy Osbourne, but it was really not. Do you remember? This means your pop culture and entertainment knowledge is very deep. If you recall a little beef that actually was with Kelly Osbourne, and Bill and Juliana Rancic. I love her. Juliana and they were on Fashion Police. It was Fashion Police years ago, and Kelly Osbourne, Juliana Rancic, obviously Melissa Rivers and Joan Rivers, and they're doing the Fashion Police on E! And it was after an event, and it was the time where Juliana Rancic said, to Zendaya, a young Zendaya. Oh my God, she comes in, she smells like patchouli oil. And Kelly kind of jumped on that like it was a racist thing. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Patchouli oil, to me, that's like takes me back to my days at Colby College and going down to Boston Garden for the Grateful Dead. You know what I mean? And the women with the bells on their and the patchouli. Patchouli was a dominant scent when I was in my 20s and 30s. So I was like, but there's no way that was a racist comment at Zendaya, and I called it out. I just said absolutely bullshit and defended Juliana Rancic. And then Sharon and Kelly jumped all over me for shutting down Kelly, but I was absolutely right then, absolutely right now. And someone asked Ozzy, and Ozzy is trained well. He's living with two very outspoken women. And he said, Billy Bush beat him up or something like that. Forgot what he said. He called me something. But you know what I knew? He doesn't mean it. And he doesn't even know what he's talking about. So that's the thing. Patchouli, what's that? Oh, racist. It reminds me of the hippie dorm. I lived at UMass Amherst, the hippie dorm. Oh, God, your dorm at UMass, especially New England, that thing must have reeked like patchouli oil. And if you don't know what patchouli oil is, it's powerful. Top of the morning to you from South Africa. Cornell in South Africa. Hello, gorgeous. Michelle, I'm allergic to patchouli and cannot work near employees that wear it. Well, it is very powerful and overwhelming. That's true. Michelle, it's crazy. I associate patchouli with Grateful Dead concerts also. Yes. And little grilled cheese sandwiches, okay, that people would sell because they need a miracle. That means I need a ticket to get in. It is powerful. Okay, so we've got Amy Bradley. Now, Travis Kelce and his brother Jason, they've got a very successful podcast, as you know, New Heights. And they were talking about the idea that because, it's the world we live in, women are just as dominant in the workforce as men, that they needed to make a movie called Pretty Man, right? We've got Pretty Woman. Let's make Pretty Man. We've had Ocean's 11. We had the female version of that. We've had the female version of Ghostbusters. Bridesmaids was the answer to The Hangover. And what about Pretty Man? It was actually a very funny exchange when Jason kind of alerted Travis that maybe we already have it.
I don't know.
I think the only way to gauge it is to flip the script. I think we need to make Pretty Man.
Pretty Man.
And we need to have a CEO, billionaire woman be so high class that she doesn't know where she's going.
Travis,
she doesn't know how to drive a car.
You're living Pretty Man right now. You are Pretty Man. You're living your own Julia Roberts right now.
I'm wearing nothing but a tie when Taylor comes home.
You do. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Why not? And you could do that with a lot of different movies. You could do Mr. Doubtfire. You could do Jenny Maguire. Although there was Lizzie McGuire, wasn't there? That was a TV show with my old friend Hilary Duff. God, I loved Hilary Duff. She was amazing. You could do Legally Bald. Steve, you're not bald. I'm not saying that. Guy, I know you're not. You're hanging in there beautifully.
Strong in the front.
I've got this is amazing. I went to so yesterday when I was actually dragging because I was so hungover from the Zach Brown thing the night before. I went to have my business meeting with a potential sponsor, and it's a men's health company. And you know what they're doing. I'm sure you see this out there because women have been doing this for years. The women, you guys get away with this Like, you can do anything. If you want your boobs fixed, you can get your boobs fixed. You want a rejuvenation or something, sorry if it's a little early for that, but you can get that. Women dye their hair. They can change their hair color all the time. The lips, whatever you want. A woman can adjust her program ad nauseum. And men are just sitting there like, okay. And by the way, if you look at history, the sitcoms of our lives, Married with Children and King of Queens and Roseanne and all these things, the father is always the frumpy, dumpy, big gut kind of lug of a guy. The idea is, no, get your testosterone up, get some peptides going, get your chest in order, get your, trim your waist a little bit, put a little something in here, get that hair going, a little more, viscosity there. Take a little 5 milligram Cialis for the weekend or whatever it is. Everyone cheats. Everyone cheats on the Cialis front. I hope you ladies know that. It's, oh, look, he's up and ready for me. Always. It's like, no, he's laying there asleep at 3 a.m. with because everybody cheats with this. Yeah. But these people curate the program for you. And I kind of think like there's certain things. I tested my testosterone. I think that's pretty good. So I'm probably okay there. But a little peptide program, a little like light Cial 53, a little light Cialis. By the way, it keeps the blood flow going. It makes your workouts more intense and better. So anyway, I'm just interested in them curating a program for me. And then we thought this would be a good sponsorship. Peptides are good for men and women. Yeah. By the way, I'm going to check with my doctor. I've got a, doctor. I'm kind of a daily Cialis is great for men's health. It helps perfuse the heart and tissues. Yeah. And also, if you piss a lot, if you pee a lot in the middle of the night, it's kind of a Flomax too. Why I married younger. You go, Mel. Look at you, girl. Now, keep an eye on her, Steve. How much younger? Everybody here wants to know how much younger. I have my total TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, men on a daily Cialis. Oh, you do this, Kat? Oh, you service men in this way. Okay. Is that kind of like Bud Light, Cialis Light? Yeah, the Cial, it's, I look, there's Cialis, there's Viagra, which you feel like is choking you, like the blood vessels are popping, your eyeballs are going to come out. That I don't like. But the Cialis is very, it's a light sort of a thing. And sometimes, I told you, we're very honest around here. You cheat. They did a whole, didn't Larry David do an amazing episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm on cheating with the Cialis? He called it, it involved Keith Hernandez from the New York Mets, right? And, Larry and Rosie O'Donnell are competing for the same woman who swings both ways. She likes guys and she likes girls, and Rosie O'Donnell wants her, and Larry wants her, and Larry ends up cheating a little bit with the Cialis. And it somehow ties into baseball, and he calls it juicing. So that's it. I think we're like-minded. My guy's 8 years younger. Joy's got an 8 years younger man. That was the difference between my parents, except traditional. My dad was 15 years older. I know a guy who's 35, married to a 75-year-old woman. Know them well. Know them very well. By the way, very active together, the whole thing. She is 40 years older. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Age equals wisdom. Gets a powerful boner. Okay. Okay, let's lose that. Yeah, I think I don't know. 40 years older that's just crazy. My guy right now is 21 years younger than me. Mary, can he keep up with you on the intellectual front? My girlfriend, Allie, is 6 years younger than me. 53 and 6 years younger than me. 47, whatever she. She'll kill me when I say that. Don't say my age. What are you doing? My dad is active at 80. I shouldn't know that and wish I didn't. Oh my God. When my dad died, my mom, like a year later, was like, would you like these? And my mother hands me a bottle of 100 milligram Viagra. Okay. You're going to take a Viagra, 10 milligrams, maybe enough. 100? I said, now I know what killed Dad. I mean, it's just, you got a heart. He's 87 years old. He died at 90. I mean, taking 100 milligrams of Viagra, that's like, you get totally choked out on that. Okay. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's $100 million multi-year deal with Netflix expires in September, and it will not be renewed. So they're out. And this, she announced a whole second season of her show. And not to be a hater, but girl, it's not a second season. They didn't bring back the camera crew and the production crew and the catering trucks and all that to reset up everything because of the second season. You shot 12 episodes, and they released 6 of them as season 1, and then they released the other 6 as season 2, announcing the big pickup. There is absolutely zero extra budget going into it. That show particularly is terrible. She's busted all the time with all kinds of frozen berries, seen on the counter. They weren't picked. There's so much fraud in it. But this was the thing. When Harry and Meghan got here to the US, there was a great big hospitality receiving line, and people lined up to kiss the ring and kiss the ass. And so Netflix, by the way, Ted Sarandos, runs Netflix, and their neighbors up there in Montecito. So it was kind of like welcome. Spotify did it, Netflix did it, everyone did it. But in the end, content is king. It's got to be good. And the best thing they did was that docuseries where they outed the family. Sadly for them, if you're going to be compelling and and people are going to watch your stuff, it has to be royal drama. You got to continue throwing granny under the bus and your parents and lean into it. And that's sad. It takes, I think they're decent people underneath it all. And that's sad. You can't keep doing that. He did it. He did it with the book, and he did it with the docuseries. But if you keep doing it, I think you're shaving years off your life. I think the karma is going to come back to bite your ass. So, keep doing things like the Invictus Games, and keep, I'm sure you save some of that money. But yeah, the content is not compelling. That said, go write something. Maybe it will. So, Billy Boy, how much did she make? Did she make the 100 million? Well, there's lots of production costs in there. So it's, when you say $100 million deal, she didn't pocket the 100 million. Anyway, she was an actress, and she was a Deal or No Deal model girl. I work with Howie Mandel. We do our Hot Mics studio show over at Howie's every day. Oh, excuse me, every Monday and every Wednesday. Howie remembers her well. Anyway, that was a Ted Sarandos Welcome to America gift, and it's gone. The Invictus Games. Yeah, Sister Wendy. Sister Wendy, are you really a nun? That'd be amazing if you were. I'd love to be able to have a nun in my cabal. Harry and Meghan love attention. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I got to say this, though. Played in a golf tournament with a guy last month, and he lives up in Montecito, and he's like, he goes to this CrossFit class, and it's like 6 guys. And one of them's Harry. So he's like, Harry's spotting me in the gym and the whole thing. And he said, could not be a nicer guy. I'm telling you this. If you sat next to Prince Harry at a dinner party, every single one of us would love him. I bet he's as charming and lovely a guy. Meghan is a little annoying, but I bet we'd love her too. Be like, shit, you know what? I sat with her. I thought she was this uppity, but then she was great. That's probably the case. So I hope I never sit next to her, because I kind of like to. Okay. Here's one for you. Nutmeg has done this to herself. Just saying this. And I'm so sorry. It's not Markle. It's Sussex. Meghan Sussex. I think she's changed the name and we need to honor it. I'm now Billy Pitt. Okay. Bill Pitt. A-list actresses boarding a commercial flight in Mexico City. So people are getting on board. The pictures are up, and they notice standing in line to get on the plane right in front of them, Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek. They got the movie The Eternals, and they're getting on the plane from Mexico City to fly back to Los Angeles. I say, wait a minute. Salma Hayek? She's married to mega billionaire François-Henri Pinault. He's a mega billionaire. He owns CAA, the biggest agency in town. This is unbelievable. And by the way, I mean, no offense, but Francois, he's a big billionaire. He's not cute enough to make Salma fly a commercial. Can I say that? A man, your wallet is why she's there. I'm sure there's other things, but you're not handsome enough. You're not sexy enough, Francois. And you're French. To make your beautiful lady, with all that money, she flies private wherever she goes. That's what I'm saying. Two of the most beautiful women in the world. One of our caddy, a golf caddy, I was playing golf, and the Weekend's house next door, through the fence, Angelina was walking around the backyard on her cell phone. That was months. Remember that? And there was like a story maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, that she and The Weeknd were hanging out together. Well, it was true. He was like, and this guy's from like Uganda or something. And he was like, Mr. Billy, he calls me. You're not going to believe it. I saw Angelina. He was going nuts. Okay. By the way, celebs I've seen boarding an airplane. Have you ever seen a massive celebrity, like you're getting on, even a small one? Like, give me a little, hit the chat here. Let's see what's going on. I got on one time, sitting in a seat, and when I was working for Access Hollywood and NBC and all that, I always flew first class. That was part of the deal. The talent gets to fly first class. So through my entire work life, the first class seats were provided. I'm a little cheaper on that front. I mean, maybe sometimes for me, if it's alone, but with the kids, never. Nothing I hate more than seeing a kid in first class. The feet don't even touch, and they're sitting there with their iPad, and I'm just like, get that kid in the back of the plane, please. Teach them to, that's the way life is. My daughter's like, oh, even now, they're in their 20s. Dad, can we fly? Not, absolutely not. Of course, halfway through the flight to Paris for Thanksgiving, my oldest had switched seats with me. Somehow kicked me back to join the others, and she took a nap. But let's see. Martha Stewart got on the plane one time, big heavy bag. I leapt out of my seat. Martha, my love. And I grabbed her bag and put it up in the overhead for her. She loved that. Sat with Shannon Sharp not long ago, but I didn't say anything. I should have said hello. I always say hello, but I didn't do it this time. And I once, Steve, I did an interview. This was really funny. I did an interview with John Amos, the late John Amos, who died. And he told me he was sitting on a plane one time, and guess who sat down next to him?
Who?
John Stamos.
That's good.
I wouldn't let it go. He told me the story. I'm laughing my ass off. John Amos and John Stamos.
Stamos and Stamos, baby.
Okay, the chicken, was that for Amos or Stamos? They both thought it was funny too.
Off subject, but not off subject. For my next daddy-daughter trip, we're going to Portland. I was speaking with the hotel yesterday, and they said, we have you coming 2 weekends in a row. I said, no, just one. And they said, no, we have Steve Harding coming August, whatever, and Steve Harding coming. And they said, oh, wait a minute. That's another Steve Harding. I said, you have 2 Steve Hardings coming a week apart?
You got to leave him a note.
I know.
Leave him a little note and say, hey, Steve Harding, what's your life like?
So random, though.
I'm here with my daughter, and we're just having like 3 days dad-daughter time. And have a great time. All the best, Steve Harding.
Exactly. I will.
Well, did I tell you this is amazing. No one likes a one-upper, Steve, but when I got fired by the NBC and I was in my hell, paparazzi's following me everywhere. Same time I'm separated from my wife. So I'm literally like I'm in the shit dumps. And I find this place, I move out and I'm in this, like, they call it Viagra Towers. It's like a high rise, well, for LA, call it 14 stories or 12 stories. And they call it Viagra Towers because it's loaded with guys who are divorced. But it's nice. And it's right on the water in Santa Monica. So I'm in there and I'm hiding because the paparazzi won't leave me alone, peppering me with Trump shit. And so every day I would drive in and I would go under and I'd put my hat down low. I was like Leo DiCaprio. Leo, we know it's you. Stop walking out of restaurants with a mask and a hat and the glasses, please. But I would protect myself, keep my head down. And this lasted for months and I was good. Like nobody noticed me. Nobody interacted with me. And I would go, which is too bad because, my personality, I'm an outgoing guy and it was terrible to live in this sort of shameful way. I go upstairs and pour myself a scotch. No shit. But there was one laundry room on the floor. And I would have to go do my laundry. And there was this old guy, 81 years old. And I would see him around. And anyway, I'm in the laundry room one day doing laundry. And he comes in and he goes, "Are you Billy Bush?" And I was like, shit, I made it 2 months. And now I said, yeah. Hi. Nice to meet you. He goes, "Listen, I just want to say I'm sorry." I said, "Oh, thank you. Well, look, life is it. No, I think I canceled your cable." I said, and my cable had gone out the night before. I said, "What? Shit, I did. Why would you cancel my cable?" And he said, "Because I have DirecTV." And I thought when the bill came into my mailbox, I was like, wrong. So I canceled it. I didn't want to be charged twice. I said, "Wait a minute, what's your name?" He said, "I'm Billy Bush." There's this 81-year-old guy. We're in a very tight space, this little laundry room. And he says, "I'm Billy Bush." I said, "You're Billy Bush." And now I thought, okay, we got a live one on us here. This guy's whack. Help. And I don't know why, but I said, "I'm so sorry. Would you mind showing me some ID?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And he walks back, sweetest guy, walks back down the hallway, comes back, hands me his ID, William G. Bush. And I said, "And they call you Billy?" And he goes, "Yes, they do." I said, "That's unbelievable. What are you doing here?" He said, "Well, my son is the chairman and CEO of Northrop Grumman."
Oh,
huge company down in Long Beach. They have a massive headquarters. So he's got like 50,000 employees, the guy's son. He goes, "Yeah, his name is Christian." And he wanted us closer to him because we're getting up in age there. And anyway, this was my first friend in the building. And we became great friends, Billy Bush and Billy Bush. And it was wild. He lived right next door to me and we shared a wall. And he would sit in one room watching Fox News and his wife would sit in the other room watching MSNBC. They were like Carville and Matlin. They were, but it was incredible. This guy, and he became my friend. So from then on, I just called him Dad. And I'd see him around the building. "Hey, Dad, how's your day?" And he'd say, "Oh, son, good." We both laugh. And
that's so good.
And off we went.
Bill, I got
Sister Wendy. Is she a nun? Who meets sometime with the same exact name as them? Only Billy Bush. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Wait, Sister Wendy, you have to answer. Are you an actual nun, practicing nun? I've never been friends with someone who's a nun, and I'd like to be.
Bill, I got another name story that I think is worthy. First year of Access Live. So we're 15 years ago, and we launched the show. And we're successful. Things are going well. And Christmas comes. We're at NBC. I'm in my office, and NBC brings me a gift, like a nice holiday gift, very unexpected and very not what NBC would do for a producer of a show. But I was like, wow, the show's doing well. I've really moved up in the world. So I opened the gift, and it's a very substantial gift certificate to the Four Seasons. And it says, Steve, thank you for all the work you do here. NBC loves to have you. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And I put it in my desk because I was like, that is crazy. The next day, a publicist for NBC and a security guard come in to my office. They say, did you receive a gift yesterday? I said, yeah. I said, do you have the gift? And I said, yeah. I take it out of my desk, and it says, to Steve, not Steve Harding, but it says to Steve, and the whole thing. And they go, that gift wasn't for you. I said,
oh shit.
I said, okay.
You're there.
It's for Steve Harvey.
Also at the company, slightly higher profile. Oh no.
And they're like, we're going to have to take that back. And I was like, okay, I knew it seemed off. Anyway, I got Steve Harvey's, not Harding's, Christmas gift to the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Oh my God. That is unbelievable.
Enjoy.
Word of the day is Viagra. Oh my God. Someone flew with Ann Curry. We're going back to flying to California. Flying from California to Texas. Barbara Bush was on my flight. I would assume that's little Barbara. Jenna's sister. Can't be Big Barbara. Sister Wendy, will you stop teasing me? Are you a nun? Are you a real nun, or do you call yourself? I don't know. I love Trump, but Billy shouldn't have been fired. It was not his fault. Wasn't Donald's fault either, love. Danielle, not Trump's fault. They were going for him. NBC News was trying to kill him. And the shrapnel hits me. So it's like, well, let's fire Billy. That's no problem. But they wanted the American people to fire him, to not elect him by putting this out about him. But everything seems to work, except Epstein. Maybe. That would be the thing. But Trump is doing everything he can to get people's attention away from Epstein. He's now trying to launch an investigation into Barack Obama and put Barack Obama in jail for organizing and spearheading the Russia hoax. Don't go back to Russia. Please. Enough is enough. We heard about it too much then. Stop trying to reignite it now. None teasing the Bushman. I love it. You know what she's saying? That's none. None ya. None your damn business. Darn business. Okay, Sister Wendy, playing cat and mouse. Who meets sometime the exact same? Oh, no, that was old. Okay. She's got to get down there. Steve, find out what she's doing. My name is Wendy. Okay. Wendy. Are you a real nun? Is she a real nun? Steve, find her. Find her. She's really playing cat and mouse here. I want the answer. I love that you share all your war stories with us. Yeah, that's a big thing. It's got to be. I have so many of them, and that's why I can't do extra. And today's my last day at extra. You'll see me on the air through August 8th, but it's my last day today of taping things on extra, and then I'm on the red eye tonight. But I think they're gonna do a little goodbye thing on the air and all that nice little stuff, and I've done that before. The best goodbye show ever was Access Hollywood and Access Hollywood Live. The week that I left there, boy, did we have some week. Steve, we took Access Hollywood Live to New York. We were out on the plaza.
Oh, boy.
We had Matt Lauer, who was a good dude at that point, and he came out with bagels. And we had Regis Philbin and Jerry Seinfeld. And then first we did Jerry, and after Jerry, we did 2 segments with Jerry. We brought out Regis. And then Jerry was like, I said, Jerry, you want to stay? He stayed. We had Regis and Jerry the whole time. Neither one of them wanted to leave. The laughs were through the roof. And when you're in the sweet spot, why I love this job and why I would have loved to continue doing the morning television. I love morning TV, and that's why we're doing this. But is when something's happening and so there's flow and you don't have to do anything, then you're really doing your job well. And Regis and Jerry are going, and I just went, sat back and watched. And it was like magic. It was really cool. Congrats, Billy. Big step forward. Thanks. Did you and Matt Lauer get along? Yeah. I mean, look, he was the big dog at the Today Show. I just arrived, right? And I wanted him to like me. I wanted him to like take me out to lunch. Whenever a new guy like Scott Evans is a reporter for Access Hollywood, but I was the host of Access Hollywood when Scott Evans arrived. Okay, and I took him under my wing. I said, "Hey, buddy, welcome. Here's going on." Would come to town, hang out with him. I'd call him on the phone and say, "Okay, look, what you want to do is like try to make it as more conversational as you can. Like you're not reading something. I know they've written something for you, but whatever they've written for you to say, to introduce whatever piece you have, forget it. It's the basic ideas of what they've written and they won't be offended. Just take the concept and say it yourself." And so like I would call him, he'd be like, "Thank you. That's so helpful." Then Matt was not. And I could feel we were always very friendly. But that's when I was on Access Hollywood and I was promoting the Today Show. I was the little guy on the side of the Today Show with a camera like, "Hey, we're talking to Katie and Matt." And so he loved me then because I was fun and promoting him. But then I got there and I felt the energy change in a major way. Major way. Like you're standing at the elevator bank together and you're just like, oh, I could feel it all over me. And I just wanted him to like put his arm around me and tell me everything's cool and we're going to work together. But I think he saw me as like competition. Look at the guy, Josh Elliott, who left Good Morning America. He was competition. He sure was. NBC brought him over. And, it's the curse of the second chair. You don't want to be too close to the big seat. And I was a little younger, full head of hair. I feel like I had that energy that said when you're watching morning television, if a woman is watching the Today Show in a robe and a cup of coffee in her hand, the guy that's on there, she pretty much needs to feel like if that guy walked in my front door and asked to use the bathroom or borrow something or whatever, you wouldn't feel scared or uptight or uncomfortable in any way. And I felt like that's, I had that. I have that. So anyway, the full head of hair was probably the biggest part of the problem, though, because I'll never forget when he decided this isn't working anymore. I can't do it. I gotta let it go. And so out it went. Note on, while we're talking television here, note on Stephen Colbert. The cancellation of Colbert's show, it's not political. They may have told Donald Trump it's political, to make him feel good that you won this war with Stephen Colbert. But it's not. It's obviously all financial. I mean, it costs $100 million to put on his show, and they have $40 million, in debt every year. They don't make a profit. They lose the 40. And also, it's just the death of why I'm leaving extra that all ties in here is like, I just think the transmitted communication where you from the high and mighty palace down, where you just sit there and you just watch, that's scripted. But, talking at you, it's about engagement. And a lot of these shows don't do enough on engagement. You can't. Like, this is total engagement. And it's so much more fun. The audience gets involved. Like, love that. Non-engagement's out. That's what I'm saying. Mainstream media is ending. Couldn't be happier. I mean, maybe, the morning shows will be the last thing standing. There's still people, I think there's still people that like that habit, right, of watching GMA or CBS or the Today Show, right? Okay. This is funny. I'm going to end with this today. Allie gave me a video. Her friends went to Boston, and they were just, going to Fenway Park, going to Red Sox games. And they took a little drive in the rental car out to Canton, Massachusetts, because they were big fans and followers of mostly my coverage of the Karen Reed trial, but of course the Karen Reed trial, and they couldn't help themselves. So they went on out to 34 Fairview, former home of Brian Albert. And they rolled it. Okay, Steve.
We're approaching Brian Albert's house. She's driving. Donna? Yeah, this is for Donna. Okay. Is this it?
Yeah, that's 34.
That's it. That's 34.
It's a much smaller lawn.
It's a much smaller lawn.
Just let me lay on it, just so we can get perspective.
It's not the size of the lawn.
Okay, hang on.
Lay on someone's lawn where people are.
Yeah. Okay, she's gonna go lay on the lawn. I mean, it would have been very easy for Lucky to see this.
How
Oh
good
my
is that?
God, Bill! The lion on the lawn just killed me at the end.
Isn't that funny?
Oh, that's horrible what I just said. Sorry.
The lying on the lawn just kills me.
Sorry, that was not good.
You know what? Oh, look, Lynn, I'm answering you right now in print too. That's right. You got to love it. And those people, the poor people who bought that house for a song, by the way, I'm sure they got a giant discount. They see this all the time. I bet they're wondering, was it worth it for us to buy this house? People are coming by all the time. It's a tourist attraction. Anyway, they said there's a second video, and it says, oh my God, they're coming out of the house. I think that the owners came out, but I don't know. It's a thing. So, Sister Wendy, where are you? Where is Sister Wendy? I see her right there.
She's
Steve.
not a nun, by the way. She did respond earlier.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's important. Not a nun. Just Wendy. Sister Wendy, oh, the time has come. What is it? Sister
Christian, Billy. Come on, Billy.
Sister Christian.
Sister
Peggy Lane and Sandwich. Oh, Sister Wendy, you know what that is? That's the home of Higgy, baby. Brian Higgins has a lot of drive-bys. And he also has a lot to explain. So, don't know. I got to figure out what time the plane lands, but I may pop this thing up from the airport if I can tomorrow morning. Certainly will alert in the chat if we what we can do. I'm hoping so, but I will definitely do it from Nantucket on Friday. So why not? Let's do a little Nantucket special. Okay. Can't thank you enough. It's so fun. We need Turtle Boy on the show. Okay. Danielle just said that. We'll get him on the show. We love Turtle Boy. Is it Wednesday? Okay. Yeah, it's hump day. I thought it was Thursday. I was going to say great long weekend. Yesterday, there was a story about how the 4-day work weekend makes for happier people. And the 4-day work week makes for happier people. I've been doing it for the last year. Yeah, I don't work Fridays, but may do it this week. I mean, it's not work. The chat is fun, but it's true. So if you're thinking about it, if you're an employer, I think the 4-day work week's amazing. We got to live our lives, folks. We've got to live our lives. 3 days off, just happier person, more productive. All the stats are there. Okay. Hate to say goodbye. Got to do it. Got to get to work. Last day at Extra.